Hi everypony. So my thoughts on the season 4 premiere? Well, if you're familiar with my criteria for a season premiere for my review of the Crystal Empire, you should be able to guess that I fucking loved these episodes. First off, this is probably my second favorite adventure plotline because the setup to the plot was beautiful, the threat was very real and the focus of the episode, and every character reacted how they should or wanted to. The job done re-establishing them was glorious, and we have a season-wide story arc, we hope. Okay, now that I'm a little calmer, let me get into some details. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy were perfectly re-established despite getting side roles because we got to see what they were like without being bludgeoned with the generalization of who they are. As much as I don't like seeing her like this, Rarity was perfectly in character, being completely consumed in her own issues and obsessing over royalty. Scratch what I said actually. She is one of the best shows of re-establishment because we see a range of who she is. Pinkie was rather disappointing since she was focused on gag use, but I can forgive this because of the letters. The letters she sends to Twilight are perfectly Pinkie and say so much about her beyond being random, but that she also cares and will do whatever she can to cheer up her friends. How Twilight and Applejack act is conflicting and has a lot to do with handling the issues of the episode their own way. Ignore the forest for a minute. How does each of the main five react to Twilight being a princess? Rarity is obsessing, Fluttershy is supportive and congratulatory, and Rainbow Dash cares more about having a new flying buddy. Pinkie is beautiful because she never once thinks about Twilight as a princess, but is her normal random self around her. Applejack, however, focuses on the link of the elements between them this episode, and can't seem to get past the fact she's royalty. When we get to the Crocodile scene, and Applejack is the one who insists that Twilight thinks about her position? Well, if you've seen my review of the Wonderbolts Academy, then you know that my favorite part of that episode was characters filling roles we weren't used to seeing them in such a way it fit with their character. Twilight and Applejack both do this. Applejack has always had more responsibility than every pony else, and has taken every threat to the world with dire seriousness. For the first time, she has to consider what some pony else dying or getting hurt would cause, though. She's too stubborn to think about or worry about the Apple family woes if she got hurt, probably because she thinks she'd grit her teeth and move on. However, it makes perfect sense she would think about what those dependent on Twilight Sparkle would go through without her, because she understands having massive responsibilities. So how do I feel about Princess Twilight Sparkle? Well, I'm glad that her position is the only real change to her, but that it is still affecting some aspects of her life. What's truly beautiful is the fact that her character fills the role perfectly while retaining all of its little problems. Now for what I don't like about Princess Twilight. This may be nitpicky, but I hated how overused the wings got this episode, especially since she couldn't decide how well or badly she could use them. The real problem, though, is the fact that she used them more reflexively than she did magic this episode. Watching her try to fly away from the crocodile rather than teleport away was infuriating, and seemed like lazy writing. She doesn't use any magic in the Everfree until the face-eating plants get defeated, and all that makes you do is wonder where the corpses of the ones she got before getting gassed are. I would have so much less of an issue with this if her horn had been hit with the same stuff Rarity's had. It just seemed like we took away her perfectly good survival instinct for the sake of the plot. However, I loved how they faced her becoming a princess, and although it's resolved really fast, I think it would have been plain wrong if it had taken very long for the main six to get over their concerns. Is there any part of the adventure plotline I didn't like? I think the writers shouldn't have made the vines indestructible on the apple farm, but cuttable with a window later. Actually, they use those indestructible vines for a lot in the forest. I hate the fact that Rarity gets her magic removed, but not Twilight. The potion Zecora uses is utter crap when you think about her portrayal in the show. At least the fear magic is explainable since it's the only magic she's ever seen only Celestia use. But how in the world did Zecora know it needed an alicorn magic? I mean, seriously, have one of the other 3 alicorns in the world distilled this once, and you just haven't gone around to asking again? Have you tried every other form of magic, and if so, what happened when you tried drinking them? The fact that she knows it needs specifically alicorn magic implies she knows something about the application of magic, and her entire role in the show was to provide information of a kind Twilight didn't have, aka natural remedies and solutions. So I hate this potion with a passion. The flashback scenes are amazing though, and I would much rather keep the blasphemy potion than lose those. Okay, so until the tree, it's mildly unnecessary exposition, but it feels right that the same episode we lose the elements, We see their importance in the past and present, and oh my god, the tree! I love that tree for all sorts of reasons, and I don't mind not knowing where it came from because we never knew anything about the elements. We simply replaced one mystery with a new one. Okay, I waited long enough. Holy Luna, I love Discord. He is everything I was hoping he would be, and Fluttershy stands by him and manipulates him the way I hoped she would. What? I love the idea of tough love, and Fluttershy showed us in Keep Calm and Flutter On that she was willing to do it to help Discord grow. Discord himself is as enigmatic and entertaining as usual, but we can actually see how he's grown. He won this episode with the tree, Celestia, and Luna all gone. Yet he reunites the elements, and I refuse to believe this was him being a jerk to get a kick. This is because he never pressed Twilight after he won, and he had no part in the main six reuniting in Return of Harmony. For him to orchestrate the defeat of the planets here fits a Discord that values his friend's happiness, and he can no doubt see how much the vines would ruin Fluttershy's life. He wanted other people to have some fun too, and he knew he could still win, so he talked Twilight back into the forest. Now if Fluttershy ever goes too far, the princesses decide they're sick of him, or he loses his friends, he can resume being the all-powerful, chaotic emperor of Equestria. So I loved Discord so much in this. So what did these episodes do to enhance the story of My Little Pony? Well, we can no longer rely on the elements. We have made a seamless transition to Princess Twilight, and we have a box that hints at a season-long story arc. These episodes did nothing for the show. I am interested to see where the show goes from here, since it has so much it can do and has so radically changed so much. Final ruling on Princess Twilight Sparkle? My favorite season premiere, and probably my favorite two-parter. Still debating that. Time to fanboy some things. The scene between Twilight and Celestia was oozing feels. The motherly tone and feel was so beautiful and felt so right since she no longer needs to simply guide Twilight. The ascension of Nightmare Moon was unbelievably well done, like everything else in this two-parter. Holy Luna! CGI that looks so pretty! Spike, you failed me. Yeah, Spike has been shunted here because he performed gags any pony could and was horrifically out of character by lacking all sorts of common sense. When Twilight is holding herself together and Spike is fainting, you know something's wrong. Seatbelt. That is all. So much more to just be ecstatic about, but I've kept you long enough. This is Line Space saying, my fears of royalty have pleasantly passed.